Morning, Raptorfreak. Alexiot's here. It's Thursday. It's time for the Thursday Think Tank. I hope everybody's been doing good. All kinds of stuff to talk about today, but my main focus for today is uh, Kai Sotto. I did a deep dive of research on Kai Sotto last night, learning all kinds of stuff about this young man and the different things about him, the pluses and the negatives. And I want to come and report to you what I found out about him so far. Now, Kai was in the G League Ignite last year, and he played fairly well. He also played in the NBL last year, which is the National Basketball League of Australia. And he played for Adelaide, I believe, is the team. And just so you know, that is an interesting connection that maybe we have an insight on Kai Sotto that other teams may not because of our assistant coach, Trevor Gleason. Trevor Gleason won his championships in the league that Kai Sotto played in, the NBL. And so Trevor Gleason might have a prior relationship with Kai Sotto that could be a part of the factoring in about whether we want to have Kai Sotto on our team. Now, on the Thursday Think Tank, most of the time I've just put down or disputed the person that we're talking about. But this one this week's a little bit different. This is somebody that I am highly, highly intrigued by because he has a unicorn tag to him, much like Kristaps Porzingis. You've got to understand, Kai Sotto is 7'2" and he weighs 232 pounds. He's actually gained a bunch of weight in the last couple years because he was much skinnier, like in the picture that you see with Pascal on the thumbnail for this video. That he's really filled out a lot more. And that in some ways, some of the knocks on him right now, the biggest worries are whether he can handle himself in the NBA with that kind of physicality on the defensive end. There's not a lot of questions about Kai's offensive game. The man can score. And I'm not lying. He can. This is the thing about Kai is he has a little bit of everything. He can attack the rim and dunk. He's really good on alley-oops. He's really good, real close to the basket as far as like with little short one-handed shots, like little shots like Shaq might have done. He can do a little bit of a hook. Like I saw him shoot a little bit like an unstoppable sky hook, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He has a little bit of a flip shot that looks real good. For a guy who's 7'2", who can shoot with such nimble touch off his fingers, that's really, really good. And that's not totally common. Now, NBA experts in their drafts and their mock drafts are leaving Kai Sotto off of their drafts in a lot of cases. In fact, that's a big red flag to me in some ways, but also it's kind of like, what is this about? Why is he not getting put on lists higher? And the other thing about it also is like, and you look at the draft with the center position specifically, like, there's so many other guys that are listed higher than him. Like he'd be maybe the 14th or 13th best center in this draft is what people are saying. But I don't totally believe this either. I really feel like this is something weird going on, that like this is a well-kept secret that people are trying not to toot their horn or talk about too much. You know what I'm saying? Monique's saying a very young Giannis. I like that, Monique. That's very interesting. A 7'2" Giannis from the Philippines. Yeah. Now, one of the things I also read yesterday is that an NBA team in the league has guaranteed Kai Sotto and his agent that he will be drafted. That if he is not drafted by the time they pick, they will be drafting them. And I wonder who it is. Like, could this be our own guys that are saying, look, Kai, we're going to draft you if you're available at 33. You will be on an NBA team this year because he's declared for the draft. He's not turning back like Leonard Miller. He is going for it this year. And somebody has guaranteed him that he will get drafted by a team in the NBA draft next Thursday. So that's very interesting to me also. Now, let's talk about a fit. Like, does this guy fit with the Raptors? Well, I'm going to tell you a couple things. First of all, this man can block shots. And if one of our needs on our needs list is to get more rim protection, this man could actually do it. And in fact, it kind of makes sense for him to be that kind of guy. Is like a project off the bench, a guy who may be like not used a whole lot, but he comes in as spot duty. Like if we are having real problems, what we like we've had at times this past year with rim protection and keeping bigs off of the basket down low, that if this kid can actually do the rim protection, get some good block shots, and just be a generally somebody to worry about that could come and take your shot away near the rim. That'd be fantastic. Because one of the knocks, like I said earlier, his offense is sound. We know his offense is going to be good. It's his defense everybody's wondering about. What's the question mark? Well, what I will say about that is we bring him to Toronto. If he's on our Toronto team and Nick Nurse and the coaching staff are working with him, they will teach him how to play defense better. I will tell you that right now. It's not that the man's too slow. It's just that he doesn't have totally the innate sense of how to do things on the defensive end exactly. But there's a lot of that can be taught, and a lot of that can be fixed. And that if he's in a system as an anchor around the basket, kind of like a Marc Gasol kind of thing, that he could be very, very good on a defensive end. That if he has premium other defenders around him, and he's kind of the guy at the end of the line that's going to just block the shot if they get past the other guys, this could work really well. Like I think his defensive deficiencies will be caught up more in a system with the Raptors. And that if we're worried about Kai Sotto's defensive ability and physicality down the basket, we shouldn't in some ways, because first of all, he's 20 years old. He's going to grow out even more. He's already 232, which is great. Because if he was under 200 pounds at 7'2", I'd be like, that's kind of like what John Butler Jr. is right now. So I like this pick a lot. This is basically what I'm saying. That, this is a kid who is shorter and learned how to play guard. Once again, he's another one of these big guys who can totally handle the ball like a guard. Just imagine a 7'2" guy who can handle the ball like a guard. He can dribble like a guard, and he can pass like a guard also. So there's a lot of things that are intriguing and to like. And in fact, at the 33rd pick, it's kind of a good gamble, because he's not going to be right away. He will be a bit of a project, but he is talented enough and skilled enough that he could probably be used in spot duty for the Raptors in useful ways as soon as next year. That the fact that he can provide rim protection around the basket could be very valuable. It could be that is his role as a role player. He may not play every single game, and it may have to do with the matchup, but he is somebody that we can break glass and boom, you got a 7'2" guy all of a sudden out there that's mobile. That's the other thing is, all right, all these other centers that are ranked higher than him on the mock draft charts right now, or how mobile are they? Are they able to get around pretty good? Because that's a big thing that matters as far as with the Raptors. We're going to play a positionless scheme, and if we're going to have somebody like him out there, he's going to need to be able to move around. He's going to be able to need to get up and down the court and stuff like that. So Monique's saying it was funny. Many had him going to the Kings. Listen, they're saying he's going to get drafted. A team is guaranteed that if he does at a certain point, he will be drafted for sure at some point. It may be that we guaranteed it to him. We don't know. Tom Duke saying incredible potential. I really do believe this. Like in some ways, like, listen, he's played in a professional league. He's played in the G League Ignite. This is somebody who has some good professional experience. And not only that, he's shown that he has worked hard. He's coachable, apparently. He's a very coachable player. He's somebody who is like a real gym rat. He's like his heroes are Tim Duncan and Kristaps Porzingis and a certain Filipino professional player that played before him. There's all kinds of interesting things about him. He will bring a huge fan base with him. There are so many people that are interested in Kai Sotto. You look at all the videos about him in another language, and they're like all about 30,000 views and stuff like that. There is a huge interest in him in Southeast Asia. So it would be a very international, very big fan base that would be added to the Raptors fan base if we brought Kai Sotto here, is what I'm saying. So I'm all about it. I think that it's the kind of thing you do at the 33rd pick. You make a flyer on a really crazy unicorn potential, somebody that doesn't necessarily have to help you right away, but he's different than everybody we have on the team right now, and he could give us some of the looks that we lacked last year. Another thing that doesn't hurt is he can shoot the three. This guy can shoot the three also. So there is a very versatile part of his game. He's good down near the basket. He's good outside. He's good with the mid range, and he can block shots. Now, once again, the big knock on is can he handle the pro physicality? Can he play defense at the NBA level? I believe in him. If anybody can teach Kai Sotto how to play defense at the NBA level, it's going to be Nick Nurse and his coaching staff. So, yeah, Tom Duke saying good morning and let's go Raptors. We don't have a chance of getting him, do we? Tom, listen, some draft boards don't even have him listed. He could be a real unknown. It could be that people are seeing things about him and they just want to pass. I don't know. I looked at him last night with the eye test pretty intently. Watched a lot of his highlights from the Australian League last year, and the guy looks good. He may be a little slower compared to the NBA game, but I don't know. I want to see him out there because he looks like he gets around real good. He even looks like he has some good side-to-side, that Precious Achua lateral movement that we've been talking about. It looks like there's a bit of that also. Let's see. Monique saying, I'm staying positive, Lex. Well, Monique's a big fan of this guy too. I know. And so we'll just have to see how it goes. So there's basically my scouting report on Kai Sotto. He's been guaranteed that he's going to get picked. He's not going to go undrafted. And, other teams are saying, well, maybe he goes undrafted. We'll invite him to our G League team. I was like, no, you may need to draft him. And I really do wonder why he's not getting more love on the mock drafts. I don't think it has anything to do with his personality or anything like that. I think it's just that he's just fallen off of there for some reason. I don't know what it is. Evelyn likes this. She's a proud Filipino here. Let's go Raptors. Yes, Evelyn, wouldn't it be so cool for the Raptors to draft the first full-blooded Filipino player in the NBA? There's two guys that have Filipino descent in the league already, including Jalen Green. And this would be the guy who has the full Filipino descent. He'd be a full Filipino player on the Raptors. Wouldn't that be awesome? We've always been an international team, and we have so many great Filipino people here in Toronto. They would love to celebrate him and go to games and bring y'all's flag and do everything like we do when we have international players from around the world. That our city has got an international flavor to it, and that every single nation in the world is represented in Toronto, and that it's always fun and nice to see the different nations celebrate their athletes in sports when they come through, whether it's baseball, whether it's hockey, whether it's basketball and stuff like that. So very fun stuff. Now, let's move on to some other news. If you guys have any comments about Kai Sotto or your opinions about the Raptors possibly getting him and how you feel about it, go ahead and just let me know in here in the comments and we can talk about it more. But I'll move on to other news and notes otherwise. Sorry about my throat once again. Hopefully my voice will come back sooner. Fred VanVleet had a really, really good interview yesterday, talking a lot about his work with BIPOC businesses and other stuff like that, really putting forth minority businesses and talking about like people in business of color. And that is fantastic. Fred is such a humanitarian and just a socially conscious person. It's really awesome to see Fred with his work in that. But other than that, the other things he said were absolute music to my ears. They're talking about his contract extension right now. He seems like he's in a much stable, more feeling like things are good with the Raptors in this situation with the contract talks. And he has said publicly he wants to be a Raptor for life, that he wants to be on our team until he retires. And I would love that to happen also. I would love that to see. I'm not one of these fans that are calling for him to be moved because they think that we got to get rid of him. It's because of the other new guys that are coming in and they're coming up. No, we can make it all work. And in fact, Fred, it's crazy because I said this yesterday before he had the interview, and he said the exact same damn thing that I said earlier, that he is willing to change his role as sees fit, as far as taking a step back in different places so that other guys on the team can expand their game and get better as younger guys. And we're specifically talking about the ball handling duties with the dual forward attack of Pascal Siakam and Scottie Barnes. Now, next season, if we run the offense through the two forwards more often and they alternate coming up the court, Pascal one time up the court dribble, Scottie one time up the court the dribble, and Fred maybe mixed in here and there, dribbling the ball up the court and passing himself, but he's less and less the distributor and more of the catch and shoot guy for our team. This is a good thing. And Fred is not against this. Fred loves this idea. In fact, it'll save his body. It'll make him have easier chances to score. It could actually make some of his numbers go up in a weird roundabout way. That he may actually have a really good year, partly because he's not so high usage in the ball handling duties. So Fred is very flexible like this. This is the thing. Some people think, oh, he's lying when he says he'll do this, but he is not lying. That this is the thing. Fred's all about championships. He's already declared it publicly a few times. He wants to be known as a champion. And he's already a champion, but he really wants to distinguish himself as a common thread through championships, similar to what Steph Curry is going to try to do tonight. That he doesn't want just one. He wants to get one without Kyle. And he wants to show that he get one without Kawhi. He wants to show that he is part of that championship formula, an essential ingredient. And he will do whatever it takes to adjust his game to make it the best thing for the team to win. And that we should never doubt him as having an ego or wanting to do something more than he's doing because he's upset or unhappy. No, this man's willing to make sacrifices on his own game for the betterment of the team. And that is it right there. Monique's saying, when you think of Kai Sotto, you're thinking of Jeremy Lin in a bit. No, I'm not thinking about Jeremy Lin. I'm not thinking about Yuta. I'm not thinking about anybody except for Kai Sotto, because listen, this man's more like Kristaps Porzingis than anybody in the league, anybody on the Raptors team. This is a unicorn. And in fact, he's a little bit more bigger than Kristaps at this age. The man has weight already. And that if he can keep strength and muscle with keeping some of his speed for his height, then he'll be real nasty. Like, this dude is really, really, really tall. And he can dribble the ball like a guard, and he does get up and down the court. So, yeah, he's nothing like Jeremy Lin. In fact, I think he could be way better than Jeremy Lin in his NBA career down the road. That if he gets the right development, he needs our team, to be honest. If he comes to the Raptors, he will get a good NBA career because we will mold him into an NBA player. So, Kai, I hope you get drafted by us because you will be just as happy as Scottie Barnes was when he got drafted by us. So, yeah, Kilimanjaro, good to see you once again, my friend. Some of these so-called fans don't know what they have until it's gone. Yeah. Listen, it's a lot of the newer fans that are dissing Fred and saying we don't need him and all this kind of stuff. It's not the way it is. And, the astute, knowledgeable fans, the fans that really understand why he's valuable and what he does for us are the ones who are fighting the other fight across the way. Thank God that the management of the Raptors are like the fans like us, that they totally see the value of Fred, and that this is going to be a done deal. They give him an extension this year. Sure, there's going to be a section of Raptors fans that are going to whine and cry and say that he's not worth the money. And why are we doing this? And we should just be like, well, because he's our team captain. He's our leader. He's a ride or die with us. He's said he wants to be a lifer with us, and we need to respect that and really honor that dedication. And don't get it twisted. Once again, like I said yesterday, there's enough money for everyone. With bird rights, as we said yesterday, we could do a similar thing that the Golden State Warriors have done over the last couple of years in retaining their main core nucleus by using bird rights to pay up over the salary cap. And that we can do this ourselves. That we have all our players, almost all of them we have the bird rights to. So this is why y'all need to stop thinking that if Fred gets paid this summer, that it means it's going to take away money from somebody else getting paid down the road on the Raptors. So don't believe that. Don't believe the hype. Oh, yeah. Let's see. David said, I think we should just blow it up. Trade Pascal, Fred, Gary, Scottie, and OG, and try to get Embiid and Tatum. Oh my gosh, David, what did you do this morning? You must have had a couple beers or something. You're not thinking straight this morning. All right, he's trying to be funny. I get it, David. This is all right. This is a little bit of comedy. It gave me a good chuckle. Anytime anybody says we need to blow anything up in the Raptors, I'm like, what? We are building. We never blow up. We continue to build. We may take down one wall and put a new wall in that place, but we're never completely blowing it up because we never make that many mistakes. We make so many good decisions that we never have to do a complete tear down. And that is the way a franchise that is well run works. And I love it. But yeah, I see your comedy, David. I'm going to have to watch out for you with your jokes. Tom Duke saying Kai's dad, Irvin, was the 7th overall pick in the 2004 PBA draft by the Pure Foods Tender Juicy Hot Dogs. Is that a real team name, Tom? Is that really a team name? Pure Foods Tender Juicy Hot Dogs? Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's a Filipino former professional player, Kai Sotto's father, Irvin. Yeah, I was reading about that also. Yeah, very interesting. Lolita's here. Good morning, all. Just listening today. Not well. Good job, all. Lolita, I hope you feel better as soon as possible. Please drink lots of fluids and just get that rest. We want you to be 100%. We love you, Lolita. Oh my gosh. Please, just take your rest. Monique saying Fred VanVleet wins always 3 years. Yeah. Listen, if it's 110 million for 3 years, I'm all for it. And no whining about that, other Raptor fans. Shane saying, how can anyone say Fred VanVleet ain't worth the money? That is just wrong, in my opinion. I know. I agree. Seriously. And Tom is laughing, and then saying, go hot dogs. That's such a weird name for a team. I mean, really, this is kind of getting back to our WNBA trying to name the Toronto team here, the Hot Dogs. Oh my gosh. All right, let's keep going here. Christian Wood's getting traded to the Dallas Mavericks from the Houston Rockets. It looks like Boban and a couple of other bench guys are going the other way to Houston and stuff like that. So Christian Wood coming to Dallas to play with Luka Doncic. That may be a very interesting pairing. We'll have to see how that goes. Let's see. Let me keep going here. All right, we got the finals game tonight, Game 6 in Boston, and I seen our ref crew for the game tonight is Zach Zarba, David Guthrie, and John Goebel. That's the ref crew for the finals game number 6 tonight in Boston. No Scott Foster. That's really good because Scott Foster's there and Boston's involved. Boston's going to win, but with no Scott Foster being there, I feel good about the Warriors closing out the series and winning the championship in Boston tonight. So yeah, same injuries they've had all series. It's basically Robert Williams is listed as day to day, but he will probably play. And then Iguodala, Otto Porter, James Wiseman, same kind of stuff. They have day to day, but they'll probably play also. Go Warriors. Let's go Dub Nation. Get your next championship. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Raymond Jacob is also Filipino, and he loves them hot dogs. Nice. Good job, Raymond. Yeah, Scottie doesn't like hot dogs, though. If you get around Scottie, he wants bologna. No hot dogs for Scottie, though. Let's see. Monique's saying Global Jam discussion. What is Global Jam? I don't know what that is. Yeah, Patrick Douglas is coming in with Scott Foster is a game changer. And the stats don't lie, Patrick. The Celtics are much like the Chris Paul. They have the inverse of what happens with Scott Foster. Chris Paul's 0-13 in a playoff game with Scott Foster refereeing. The Celtics are 13-0. With Scott Foster is present. So I'm so happy not to see Scott Foster on the referee list tonight. Duke Rocks is here. Good to see you, Duke. Has it been a bit? Regardless on who stays and goes, if we trade to get a lottery pick, etc., we can all agree in Masai we trust. That's right. Listen, if something out of left field comes and it's a really, really big move and it's crazy like the Kawhi deal, I will trust in them that it is the right move, even if there's a heartbreaking part to it. That we really got to understand that these executives are badasses. They're the creme de la creme of the NBA and the front office, and that whatever they're going to do, we need to trust in it and not second guess it because these men know what they're doing. Now, down the road, if they are determined to be wrong and stuff like that, well, we might want to give them just a one mulligan just because they have been so good for so long. It seems like everything they do, that Lowry trade last summer was beautiful. It was amazing. That was actually like such a skillful crafting of a deal. the Kyle Lowry deal with Miami. Oh my gosh, such a good one. Yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, we got more. All right, Flops Filipino also. We got all kinds of Raptor freaks. They're Filipino, and I'm sure they're all about the Kai Sotto draft pick at 33 next Thursday. Let's do it, Bobby Webster. I think the fans want it. Let's go get him. If he's available at 33, let's get Kai Sotto. Let's take a flyer on a big man project and see if this unicorn potential can turn into something. He could be better than Porsaps or Kristaps if in some ways. Who knows? Monique saying Canada basketball times Raptors. Yeah, yeah. And Raymond Jacobs saying that Tom from the doors. Oh, laugh out loud. Mystery meat. Yeah, hot dogs equal mystery meat. That is true. Oh, Tom Duke saying your photo looks like a young Jim Morrison. What photo are you talking about? Which photo? I don't even know what you're talking about. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Let me keep going. I did watch Hustle last night, guys. I watched Hustle finally last night. And all right, listen, I think the hype about it is kind of overblown. I'm not going to lie because I thought it was going to be something so much bigger. And sure, there were feels moments where there's crying and, you get that really inspirational speech by Adam Sandler to him and stuff like that. But you know what? It was so cliche. Like I've seen this movie before. It's like Hustle. This is the same story that's been told over and over and over again. In fact, I don't know if there was enough originality to it to make me really that interested, like say this is good. It was good, but it wasn't great, is what I'll say. Uncut Gems is a way, way better movie than Hustle. And I would much rather watch Uncut Gems again than Hustle. I don't think I ever want to watch Hustle again. It's boring. The best part of Hustle to me was the Kyle Lowry diss of Matisse Thybulle. That was fantastic. That was the part that had me rolling on the ground when Kyle said, I think he's talking to me. Why would he be talking to you? That was hilarious. But otherwise, I didn't enjoy it to an extent because I found it was very predictable. It was completely predictable. And of course, it all happened to work out and all this kind of stuff and stuff like that. Now, Anthony Edwards was fantastic, sure. But there wasn't enough scenes with him in some ways. And I didn't feel like they showed the most important scene in the preview attraction, the trailer clip. That scene that I saw before I saw it was really kind of the most important scene of the whole movie. And it's kind of that bad when they do that, when they kind of give away that whole part and that kind of stuff. But, I can't totally diss it. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was a good time. But really, in some ways, it was kind of stupid. Like LeBron, I understand you putting out movies and stuff like that's cool. And I like seeing all the NBA players in it. The Sixers part was kind of cheesy. And, I see why Sixers fans are all buzzing up like they're badasses because they have a movie about their team now. But still, I found it very cheesy, a very cheesy movie in some ways, but I did enjoy it. I got a little bit of entertainment out of it, but it is nowhere near as good as Uncut Gems, is what I'll say that right now. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Tom. What picture are you talking about? Are you talking about a picture where something? I don't know. Oh, of Raymond. You think Raymond looks like Jim Morrison? Oh, wow. Strange days are here. I could do some Jim Morrison, except my voice is all messed up. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. All right. Laugh out loud. Alistair saying Kai Sotto might go in the first round. Yeah, that's the thing. There's just so much speculation. He's all over the place. Like he could be in the first round. I would say somewhere in the 20s, or he could fall into the second round, or he could not get drafted. Well, they're saying that he's guaranteed he's going to get drafted by someone. So, but yeah, we'll have to see if he's that kind of player that'll fall, and maybe we can get him at 33 because he may be gone in the first round. You're right, Alistair. It could be that there's a team that has an inside track on understanding him and wanting him for their team. So, all right, Tom Duke saying Hustle was totally predictable, but great because it was stacked with players and about basketball. Yeah, I think that's true. I can get behind that, Tom Duke. But once again, there needed to be some sort of wild card element to it that just wasn't there. It was very standard. This is a movie that I've seen before. It's just with different actors. It's the same story. So that's what I'll say. David's saying hi to Trish, and Trish is saying, "Oh Lord, laugh out loud. Oh Lord, look out." Well, hi Trish, how are you? Good to see you. Raymond saying Sandler surprising Bo with his family That part got me caught up. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. That was real sweet. And some of it was not very believable. Like after he was exposed on TV for what, oh, sorry, spoiler guys, that Bo guy should have been like, F you, Adam Sandler. I ain't got nothing to do with you. There's no way that they'd repair that rift after that lie. So there's a little bit of stretching of believability there. Monique saying, great work out by Chris Boucher. I saw it. Like, you saw that weight, Monique, that Chris Boucher is lifting yesterday. That man is looking like he's lifting like for WWE. And he's like, ooh. And the way he looked into the camera was so cold. Like, he's like, don't try me. Don't try me. Chris, we got to get you tied back up with the Raptors as soon as possible because we don't need you going somewhere else as a free agent. No, we don't. No, we don't. All right, just get a little water on that. All right, so Scottie did the Twitch again yesterday. This is coming more and more often and more frequent. In fact, I missed the Twitch session yesterday live because it was in the middle of the day. He started at 3:30 yesterday and went till about 5:30, 2 hours, and he was playing Fortnite yesterday, which is a very different kind of game than what he's been playing so far. It was fun. He declared himself the greatest Fortnite player in the NBA last night. It was really, really funny. And, there's a lot of cool stuff that was on there that happened. Let me see what, first of all, he said, somebody asked him, who's your favorite player in the finals right now? And he said, Steph Curry. He's really enjoying Steph Curry's performance in the finals right now. That's who Scottie likes and admires from the finals right now, even though he picked the Celtics to win that one game, and he was right. His favorite player in the finals is Steph Curry, just so y'all know. He was wearing, instead of his draft day hat yesterday, he was wearing a hat that said Star Child on it. Now, I know that doesn't say Star Boy in The Weeknd, but it really does smack of a Toronto feel with The Weeknd and his Star Boy motif with his music and stuff like that. He's wearing a black hat with the white trucker hat with the Star Child written across the front of it. And that made me think of The Weeknd for some reason. And then let's see. He did not. All right. The people on the stream kept saying to him they want him to play My League on NBA 2K. In the My League setting, that kind of play means you're running a team like a general manager and a coach, and then also like it's a real NBA team. And then he said, no way, y'all. You ain't going to get me to play My League on NBA 2K. And the reason why is because you want to see who I'm going to trade and who I'm going to pick and keep on the team. So he said, no way, I'm not even going near that dumpster fire of trouble that you could cause for me if I play NBA 2K My League and I start being a GM and moving players around the league. You may see players that get traded I want, and you'll be like, oh, he wants to play with this person. Or you may see me trade somebody from the Raptors away, and you'll be like, oh, he doesn't want this person on the team. He does not take the bait. That's the great thing. Scottie was like too smart for it. He said, no, I'm not going to play My League, y'all. You can try and tell me to, but I'm not going to do it. Now, I'll play My League on Madden. He said he'd go run an NFL team and trade players around, stuff like that, but he will not do it with the NBA game, just so y'all know. It's very smart of him not to start any waves or any weirdness just by playing a video game that's NBA and start trading players around the league. He'd be like, oh, he really loves LeBron, stuff like that going on. Yeah. Let's see. Trisha is saying, oh, Lord, laugh out loud. Oh, Lord. Once again, we got 2 oh Lords from Trisha already. Let's see if we can get a couple more out of her before we're done. Monique's saying, Duke's saying, is this draft deep? I'm hearing there'll be some really good players available at 33. We'll have to see. Like Dan Tolzman said, we're really waiting to see what filters through the first round, what gets caught, and what comes through and is still available at 33. That's going to be really like an on-the-fly adjusting kind of thing. We're going to see who comes off the board and keep their rankings of who they really covet and value and see how that changes by the time it gets to 33. Now, next Thursday, we'll really talk about this and all of the up-to-date buzz about the draft going into draft day next Thursday. That's when the draft is. So the Thursday Think Tank is going to be a special 2022 NBA Draft Edition, and we'll be talking a lot about it. MK saying, can someone post a link of Scottie's Twitch? And Tom Duke is right on it. Look at that. Tom Duke is right on it. It is amazing, MK. It is so fantastic. And when you see the name Raptorfreak on there or click 2 a.m., know that it is your friends from this channel. That if you see any comments in that stream, that is your buddies here, me and Mr. Click. We are on there. Yeah. Thank you, Tom. What a guy. BTOB's here. Good to see you again. Just visited Jubstown Clink video. Very informative. Yeah, I see Clink has a new video out this morning talking about what he thinks the Raptors should do with the number 33 pick. I'll have to watch Greg's video after this. I always enjoy his content and highly recommend going to see the Jubstown Clink whenever he produces new stuff. He always has good stuff. Thumbs up from Tom Duke. Raymond Jacobs saying Scottie plays Fortnite. I think he just lost some points with me there. Well, Raymond, we have to say this is something he played when he was much younger, and he was revisiting it last night. Or he was just kind of saying, I used to play Fortnite all the time. I had like the old skeleton skin and all this kind of stuff. He's like telling them about it. He loves Fortnite, and he's actually really good at it. It's just that it's adjusted, whether you have a build or no build and stuff like that. It's like it's different kinds of games, and the game is different than the last time he picked it up. So he was adjusting to it a bit and the new stuff on it, but he did really well. There were a couple times where I was watching him and I was like, this dude has some good strafing skills. He has some really good tactics as far as for first person shooters, as far as like how to get around a guy and come back on them and shoot them in a good way. And he has really good aim. Just from my own personal experience in first person shooters at playing myself and seeing him, if I scouting him, he's got some skills in first person shooters, but he didn't play very well. And Raymond's saying, I swear Fortnite is like for 6-year-olds. Some people in the chat were saying, yeah, Scotty's out there shooting little kids. It was pretty fun, though, and interesting to watch. And I have never seen Fortnite before myself. I've never watched it. I've never played it or anything like that until last night. So it was fun kind of for me to see these newer games that I don't play and see what they look like and how much video game technology is advanced. It's really cool. Tom Duke saying, yeah, I prefer watching him play 2K. I really do too. I mean, the Fortnite's a little bit better than the COD to me because the COD, Call of Duty, is very fast paced and very graphic. And sometimes it seems like they're just in these like, kill rooms where everybody spawns right close to each other, and it's basically you spawn and run and shoot the next thing you see right away, and then you're dead like within 10 seconds. I don't like those kind of rooms. I like tactics rooms where you can kind of get some hiding, go get some extra weapons, find them, and then kind of really stalk people or kind of wait and camp and get them or stuff like that. But Scotty's funny. Like when he's playing Fortnite, Raymond, he's yelling, I want the smoke. I want the smoke. Where's the smoke? And he's going and hunting people. Like he's like, I want all the smoke. You come and he's like, you're hiding from me. And if he finds someone and they start running from him, you're running from me. You're running from me. And then he starts shooting them and stuff like that. It's hilarious. He's like all about talking trash and saying, I want the smoke. You go watch that clip. You'll see. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. Monique has some very interesting information. Monique talked to Nathaniel Mitchell, and he does want the 905 job. Thank you, Monique, for dropping a huge bombshell of news in Raptor world that Nate Mitchell, assistant coach for the Raptors, does want that 905 job, and I'll bet you money he's probably going to be the 905 coach next season. Wow. And Monique, however you have a connection to Nate Mitchell and you could talk to him about it, that's fantastic. Great intel, great information. Thank you, Monique. She has the inside stuff. All right, Sue's here. Good morning, Sue. Smiley face back at you, Sue. Raymond saying, well, I think I'm confusing Fortnite with Minecraft. Yeah, I think you are. There's similar games in some ways. Minecraft's that very blocky game, and Fortnite is a little bit more cartoonish, but there is a weird part to it where you can build. And like Scotty's like he's playing build mode and he's trying to shoot with this other guy, but while he's shooting against the guy, he's also building these walls that look like roofs, and they're running up and down them and trying to get away from getting shot by each other and stuff like that. Really weird game, but like weird characters and weird weapons and all kinds of stuff, but fun. It was really kind of a colorful cartoon world, looked like Adventure Time to a degree, stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. So you meant Minecraft. I think Fortnite's not that far off from being Minecraft, though, as far as like a kid's game. MK saying you probably already covered this, but what do you think of the Christian Wood trade? I didn't mention it, but I didn't really give my take on it. I think it's a good move for Dallas. I think that they need help for Luka, and that this guy may be a more suitable pairing with him than Kristaps. And that, this is a good move. Mark Cuban's a smart guy, and Christian Wood needed out of Houston. So they're sending a lot, though. They're sending like 3 players and a pick to get Christian Wood. But I think it's a good move for Dallas. Monique saying private discussions with Nate Mitchell. Okay, well, Monique has a personal relationship with Nate Mitchell and knows him, so we can get some inside stuff from Monique and her sources. That's fantastic, Monique. That's great to know. Tom Duke saying it's a crazy trade. No sense. Mavs win that one. Well, we can't expect Houston to make any sense with what they do. They're kind of a dumpster fire. But Dallas, they're doing something to improve their team. That's what it looks like. They definitely won that trade. Like Christian Wood was actually somebody that was kind of getting talked about possibly coming here, and he may have really worked with us. He may have been that big pivot kind of guy that we needed for our positionless scheme. It's just kind of like a little bit taller Cam, but with a little bit more offensive, like aggressiveness kind of thing. All right, more about Scottie on Twitch because there is more. Trust me. Um, he was playing for a little while and he was losing once again. And he doesn't want to play when he starts losing. He gets really mad when he loses video games. And he's kind of like, I don't want to really do this anymore. And at the end of it, he said, all right, guys, I got to go eat. I'm going to grandma's house. So he's like, he was going to his grandmother's house last night to have dinner with his grandma. And I was like, that's so awesome. This Scottie's just going to hang out with his grandma and have some dinner. And he said he was going to come back last night and play 2K in the evening later last night, but he didn't do it. But that's fine. I'm sure maybe because this is the thing. Once again, he's doing these Twitch streams and people are coming in there and saying all kinds of crazy junk to him in the chat. And somebody said to him yesterday, you don't ever work out, do you? Like you're not doing anything in the gym because you're always on Twitch. And he got kind of angry about that. He said, listen, I got up at 7 a.m. this morning and went to the gym and worked out all morning. And that I'm in my middle time in the break and I'm on off season. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go to my grandma's house, eat dinner there, and then I'm going to go back to the gym tonight and work out tonight. So anybody who thinks that he's slacking because he's playing video games, he's on Twitch, he's having his off season, realize this man's still working and that you just don't see that grind. That maybe he's not putting on blast on IG or anything like that, but that doesn't mean he's not in a gym. So don't slight him like that. Some people are coming at him like saying, oh, look at what Cade's doing right now. And what's Scottie doing? Well, you aren't seeing all of what Scottie's doing and realize that he has a very regimented schedule and that he is putting in work and he is putting in grind. In fact, I think it's more admirable and crazy that he puts in all that grind in the gym and he still wants to play basketball on a video game on a stream. Yeah. So it's not just a troll, MK. It's Detroit fan. It's American fan that doesn't believe that he should have won it. Maybe Cleveland fan. It's all the fans that don't think he should have won Rookie of the Year that are dissing him and stuff like that. Monique saying, I wonder how Kim is healing. Yeah, he's had that surgery. I'm sure he's doing great. It's good that it's in the off season. He'll really take it easy, and hopefully he'll have enough time to get back in really good shape before the season after this knee surgery he just had. Sue's saying, improving his skills is way too important to Scottie for him to not give it his all. He's so dedicated. Yeah, guys, I found out more about Scottie. I did more research on him because I wanted to learn about his brother, John, because I think he's one of the ones he plays with on Twitch. Chunky Monkey is John French. I'm pretty sure. And that is actually his real older brother. That's like 2 years older than him. And I found this really cute picture of them at a gym when Scottie was 6 years old. He's with his brother and some other kids that are there. And I learned way more about Scottie yesterday than I have learned about him in his childhood. And it's not really that happy. I'm going to tell you about it in a sec. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, love he hates losing and he hangs with his grandma. He may end up having to be my favorite Raptor. Yeah, he was all about going to grandma's house. He's like, I'm going to grandma's now. Stuff like that. Race Mode Daily's here. Always a dope channel. What do we know about Kai Sotto? Do you guys talk about Fred lately? Yeah, we talked about it at the beginning, Race Mode. Two things just real quick. Kai Sotto, his agent has been guaranteed that Kai Sotto will be drafted. He will not go undrafted. There is a team that is guaranteed that he will be picked by an NBA team. And I'm really all for drafting Kai Sotto. If he's at number 33, I would love to get him. That if people are worried about his physicality on the defensive end and him not being able to keep up with the NBA, well, we can bulk him up with our strength conditioning program here in Toronto. It's one of the best in the league. And if he's going to be deficiency in defense is his biggest knock, Well, bring him to our team and let our guys work with him because he may get some sort of defensive skills like Gary Trent Jr. did when he showed up and started working with our coaches. So I'm very much a seal of approval that if Kai Sotto is the name that Adam Silver or whoever is reading at the draft is going to the Raptors at 33, I'll be very pleased. So yeah, he gets my thumbs up. And Fred has said he wants to be a lifer with the Raptors for his whole career. He wants to be a Raptor and continue to get deals. And I'm with you, Freddie. You need to be here also. I want us to go back to the old way the NBA was, where the 80s, where people like Magic Johnson and John Stockton stayed on the same team for their whole career. We want Fred VanVleet to be that kind of point guard and stay with our team for his whole career. He wants it. Masai wants it. We want it. What's wrong with it? All right. Tom Duke saying race mode. We started about Kawhi. Go hot dogs. Go hot dogs. David saying, yeah, started off talking about Fred. It's all right. I can always add a little bit. You guys know how to do it. David saying consensus is keep him. Yeah, I say keep Fred too. I think that most people like having Fred, and the people that don't want Fred are misunderstanding what he does for our team and the value, and that we are not going to hurt our chances to keep Scottie Barnes if we keep Fred. So don't worry about that. Let's see. Criscom's here. Good to see Criscom, my good friend. What's good, bro? You think Christian Wood have been a good fit on the Raps? Dallas got him for peanuts. Sheesh. Yeah, that is a really good deal for Dallas. For just saying, I think he would have been a pretty good player on the Raptors. Yeah, I think that he's his length with his mobility, and he has some great offensive skills. He could have been that guy like we've been talking about with possibly Nurkic or Ayton or Mo Bamba, those different kinds of names this summer. But you know what? I kind of am glad that he's also kind of we would have had to give up some stuff for him, but they did give him some peanuts for that. It's very interesting. They probably just wanted to get rid of his contract in Houston to have some flexibility in some ways. Sue's saying, nice. I didn't hear that Fred said he wanted to be a lifer. That's great news. I love the loyalty. Yeah, definitely. And he really did. Like, this is totally different than the last time when he was working out his contract with Masai and Bobby. He was very close cards to his chest, not really given any kind of tells. And this time now he's saying, come right out saying, I want to be a lifer with the Raptors. He said that yesterday. Rank Scrubs here. Good to see you, Rank Scrub. I'm just happy that Jordan Hall is looking like he might be undrafted. There are absolute studs who we could get without using a pick. Yeah, that's the other thing. We got to realize, even though we only have one pick and it's the 33rd, we're probably going to pick up somebody undrafted and invite them to camp. And this could be very interesting. It could be a very similar thing to Justin Champagnie and somebody that could be very good. It could be Julian Champagnie for all. So Monique saying, preach, Lex, on Christian Wood. Yeah, he's a great player. I'd love to have him on a team. Now, getting back to Scottie real quick. On Scottie's Twitch, he's talking about going to see his grandma. I was doing research on his siblings. He has two brothers and a sister. His older brother, John, I'm pretty sure is one of the guys that he plays regularly on the video games on Twitch with. And he's actually the other person that's really good on 2K, Chunky Monkey. I'm pretty sure that's his brother, John. But when I was digging for all that, I found out more about Scottie's childhood. Now I understand a lot more of why, some of his personality is the way he is and stuff like that. Scottie's childhood was not good, y'all. His parents fought a lot when they were kids, and they moved a lot. And one of the things that happened with Scottie was, in some ways, he became like an after-school program kid where he got out of school and he would have track practice, and he'd run track for a while. And then he would go straight to like a gym in his neighborhood. I think they said it was Salvation Army, like gym or something like that. And he played basketball all evening. And that since the third grade, Scottie has had a basketball attached to his hand, that he's always got it with him everywhere and doing stuff like that. And that basketball was his escape to get away from his troubled childhood home, that the issues with his parents, they were not getting along. His parents were fighting constantly, and his father was in and out of the home and not there all the time. That they would get in a fight and he would leave and go away for a long time, and that his mother was really struggling as a single mother without the support of the father and helping them out. And that his childhood was really, really not stable. that there was a lot of back all over the place, moving around, and that the fighting was really hard on the kids. That eventually Scottie ended up moving in with the coach of his basketball team. That he went and moved in with Coach Simpson, and Coach Simpson kind of became his dad. That in a lot of ways, his father figure is his coach from being a young person. And that's fantastic that he got that coach in his life to help him adjust and grow up. But I really think that this informs us about why he's being so protective of keeping the Raptors nucleus together. That this man craves stability because he didn't have it as a child. And that if anybody's coming at him like Jake Fisher is and saying that one of his brothers wants to be somewhere else, he does not like that. And that this is something that's really important that we need to honor as fans and also as the management of the Raptors. That they have that family environment and have that stability for Scottie. It may be one of the things that really, really helps keep him here. That he doesn't want a dumpster fire organization that is willing to trade people willy nilly and that everything's just all in flux. That he really does maybe like how concrete and solid we are with keeping our players and really honoring them and being loyal to them. That he can see how we treated Kyle and we see how we treated different people before, and that he likes that. And that is something that is important to him. So this is something that I learned about him that's very deep and sad in a lot of ways, but it informs us to why. Why? And because he moved around so much when he was a kid, he had a hard time keeping friends because he was moving back and forth and he was never with the same friends after a while. And this may be part of the reason why he's really reaching out to the fans on Twitch and learning and building a new fan friendships with people and stuff like that, that he wants that because he's lacked it in his life and stuff like that. So yeah, very interesting stuff about Scottie and his background and why possibly part of the reasons why he is the way he is and stuff like that. Let's see. Did Scottie also hustle like Bo Cruz? You know what? Actually, that's a very interesting question, Raymond. One of the things he talked about a bit yesterday was LA fitness. That, yeah, this man's all about LA fitness. He said that how he got so good at basketball was that back in the day he would play he would play his regular games, his practices and stuff like that, but he wanted more basketball, and that he regularly went to LA Fitness and played against the adults and the older people at LA Fitness, and there would be really good competition in where he lived at this LA Fitness that he played, and that he really kept saying LA Fitness is where I really got good as a basketball player yesterday. And that he was asking if Toronto had LA Fitness here, like where he could go and start playing against. And other people were saying like, "Oh, you need to go to Good Life," and he's like, I don't know, but he really says the gym that he went to and played inside against adults is where he really honed his game. And somebody was saying, well, come and play with me in Toronto when you come back and we can get a pickup game. And he said, I can't anymore. I'm not allowed at this point. So he's not allowed to go and do Bo Cruz kind of pickup hustle games anymore. And I don't think he was hustling when he was playing for money or anything like that. I think he was just playing because he loved the game and he wanted as much time on courts. So that was very interesting to me that he lived at LA Fitness in South Florida and that he loved playing there. And he credits a lot of his growth as a basketball player as a youngster because he was playing against adult men at LA Fitness and stuff like that. So yeah, very interesting stuff. Sue's saying, I'm so glad he totally put Jake Fisher in his place and called him out for writing his nonsense. Yeah, that was very fascinating and awesome. Like, it was weird when he pulled his phone up. He's like, hey, guys, look at this. And he's like, look who just friended me or something like that. And he's holding it up and it's like, it's Jake. And then like his quote, he's saying, it's sickening what he's been saying about our team and about our players wanting to leave. It's sickening. So he said, oh man, what a badass. But maybe that is informed by what I was just telling y'all about his family life. And Scottie, I'm not trying to put this out there on blast because we want everybody to know. I want the people that care about you to know. And that is us. The Raptorfreak cult is on your side. We love you. And we want to be able to love you and care and be good fans for you in all kinds of ways. And the more we understand you and what you're all about, the more we can do it in the right way for you. And this isn't about putting any of your personal stuff on blast. This is about us understanding you and loving you better. is what I'm saying and stuff like that. All right, y'all. I'm not gonna go too much longer unless you guys have subjects you want to talk about. I think I talked about everything. We'll just do a real quick recap. Kai Sotto, two thumbs up from me. I think that with my eye test and the way he looks and the potential, if you mix him in with the staff of the Raptors, you could see something really good happen. Like I would love to see him become like a Marc Gasol type defender down low. That with his mobility and his moving around and his height and his shot blocking ability, he could possibly become this. That he can get up and down the court and he has dribbling skills. This man can bring the ball up the court himself, just like Precious, just like Scottie. So Kai Sotto, big seal of approval from me. And if this is going to happen with the Raptors, I'm all about it. But we'll have to see what happens. Trust in Bobby, trust in Masai. This is actually the first Thursday think tank that I've given a thumbs up on our subject. So we'll have to see what happens. Alistair saying Josh Minott, 6'8", plays just like Scottie, just needs to improve his shooting. That's an interesting. Yeah, I saw the name Josh Minott before, and we worked him out in a pre-draft workout, stuff like that. One thing about Kai Sotto that happened recently is he was doing a workout for the Chicago Bulls, and he injured himself. And that's not necessarily good. He hurt his ankle. But these kind of things happen. There is a little bit of worry that he may be injury prone also. So we need to. That may want to be one of the negatives about him, that he could be injury prone. Fred VanVleet wants to be a lifer. He wants to stay with the Raptors his whole entire NBA career. That is what he said yesterday. Finals game 6 tonight in Boston. The referees are Zach Zarba, David Guthrie, John Goebel. That is not a bad ref crew for the Warriors to try and finish this series and win a championship in Boston on their court. That is what we are wanting tonight. We want to see Celtic Nation disappointed and going home because it's over and the Warriors are standing there with the Larry O'Brien. Oh, yeah. All right. Rank Scrubs saying outside sources would think it would be insane to try to spread the minutes out more even. They see OG and Scottie splitting minutes, but our starters were overplayed by 5 to 8 minutes all year. Yeah, exactly. They think that we don't have enough for our guys, but trust me, this is the thing they don't understand. These guys don't necessarily care if they don't play a whole lot of minutes on certain nights. Like you saw Precious, he would fluctuate from 10 minutes up to 30 minutes during the season. They understand and trust Nick Nurse that he's going to play that piano like he does in real life with the keys at the right notes at the right time to make beautiful music. And that they need certain combinations at certain times. Fred can't play if it's a positionless scheme totally, that Fred understands, that Precious understands, and that, yeah, we could be more equitable with the minutes next season, and that there is enough. And that the thing that may matter more to the players is that Nick Nurse is the kind of coach that says, I want y'all to be yourselves and do what you like to do on the court, and we will build around that. Instead of being a coach that says you have to do this and you have to stay within this, and if you don't do what I say, then you're in trouble. Because Nick Nurse is like that. He allows the players to be he's very laissez-faire about how they play and what they do. And that is fun for players because that means there's a lot of pressure taken off of them to be a certain way that may be with coaches and other systems in the NBA. So forget about the minutes distribution. Talk about how Nick Nurse is very open to the players being themselves and playing the way they want to. And that is more attractive in some ways than how many minutes necessarily you're getting. Because ultimately all these guys really care about is winning. I don't even know if any of them are that interested in personal accolades in some ways. They will come as they go. But it's really more about the collective and the team winning overall and stuff like that. So, yeah, this is how I feel about it, Rank Scrub. And I think that the more Raptor fans put this out there against that is saying, well, maybe they don't care about the minutes as much, or they care more that Nick Nurse lets them off the leash and lets them do whatever they want on the court. Because, Ken Burch shooting threes would have made Orlando coach explode. Or Precious shooting threes. Miami coach, what are you doing, Precious? Shooting threes. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, boom, Precious. He can shoot threes. And nobody wanted it to him at the beginning of the season. Race Mode saying, let's go. Let's go, Race Mode. Alistair saying, if Kai Sotto gets picked early, we're still good. So much talent. Yeah, we'll just adjust. We'll see what filters through to pick number 33 and what's available, and we'll make the right decision. In fact, we may get a guy that's just as good as that 20th pick that we had before we traded Goran. that we may have just as good of a guy at 33. Tom Duke saying, going to be a great game tonight. Yeah, I'm really excited about the game tonight. Really, really go Warriors. Beat them on their own court. Let's do it, Steph Curry. Let's do it, Maple Jordan. Let's do it, Splash Brothers. And even you, Draymond, put down the podcasting mic for 5 minutes and do something out there. Get going, Draymond Green. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Tom Duke saying both teams are going to want this so bad. This game, I'm actually going to watch this one. I'm here at my girlfriend's. I'm going to watch it on her HD TV, and I am going to watch this one. I haven't watched any of the games, but I will watch this one. Yeah, I'm cheering for the old guys too. Monique saying, as Nick Nurse says, expect to win, baby. Yeah. And Alistair's saying, John Butler, Koloko, Justin Lewis, Caleb Houston. I like John Butler a lot. Like, he's another name I wouldn't be unhappy if the Raptors picked him. Caleb Houston also, but that's really more because he was a teammate of Scottie Barnes at Mount Verdi, and that would be just a fantastic dynamic to have. Scottie having a familiar buddy from before, and it would just make things even more fun for him on the team. That may be a very smart pick, even though Caleb may not be as good as other players. That may be better for the team just for chemistry and synergy and familiarity. That Caleb Houston is a trusted old friend of Scottie Barnes from high school. You draft him. You say, look, Scottie, we love you. We want you to stay in Toronto forever. Look how much we love you. We're going to pick your best friend from your high school team and put him on the team with you. Koloko's another one that I'm interested in. I wouldn't be upset if they got Koloko, because it may be that they saw something about Christian Koloko that I didn't. And I trust in Bobby Masai. And I don't know much about Justin Lewis, though. What about Nembhard? Yeah, he's an interesting player too. But if we're going to pick either one of those Canadians, I want that bonus that has to do with Scottie Barnes right there, because it is like a synergy bonus. You bring in Caleb Houston to the team, and that's a pick-me-up for Scottie Barnes' spirits, and maybe a little bit more comfortable, and maybe just a little bit more like, wow, we feel like really like this team really likes me if they're going to go and get somebody who's a friend of mine and put him on this team, stuff like that. So, all right. Once again, Christian Wood, good deal for the Dallas. Houston's just trying to unload big contracts to try and have flexibility and stuff like that. Hustle, I wasn't as impressed as everybody else. It's a good movie. It's fine. It's entertaining, but it is cliche and very predictable. And, the cameos for me were kind of weird. Like, I thought Kenny Smith was really good. It's weird having him say that titties line, talking about titties. That was a little weird that they did that whole line, Kenny Smith. And, the other people in it that were like NBA players, I thought that Anthony Edwards was really, really good. I thought that Juan Gacho or whatever, I never said his name right, the lead, Bo Cruz, he was fairly good, but he really didn't have to act that much in this movie. It was really just him playing within himself. Lowry was a highlight to me, and Doc Rivers, whatever. It's a kind of annoying, the whole thing with the sons, the owner's son, and that dynamic is all right. I shouldn't give away too much. Some of y'all haven't seen it. So anyway, Raymond Jacob is saying it would be cool if Raptors drafted Bo Cruz. Bo Cruz is already in the league, Raymond Jacob. We can't draft him. He's on a team already. I think, what team is he on at this point? I think he's on like one of the West Coast teams or something. Yeah. Except his name is not Bo. He's in the league. Hernan Gomez. Yeah, that's his name. Juan Hernan Gomez. And then one more thing, just real quick, just going over the Scottie Barnes Twitch from yesterday. He has declared himself the greatest Fortnite player in the NBA. He went to see his grandmother last night, had dinner with her. His favorite player in the finals this year has been Steph Curry. He feels like he's done the best. Yeah, he might be in Utah. I think you're right, CC, that Hernan Gomez is there. I'm not sure what team he's playing for. He's been traded a couple times. It could be the Pelicans. It could be, I want to say maybe the Pelicans or Utah. Yeah, it sounds about right. He was telling everybody last night, Scottie Barnes, that he will not play the My League's game mode on 2K because he doesn't want to tip his hat on anything that he thinks about NBA players in the league as far as trading them or trying to trade for players. So no, don't ask him to play My League on 2K. He will not do it, just so you know. He was in Boston at the beginning of the year. Don't know about now. Yeah, he's not in Boston now for sure. He's on a West Coast team. I know for sure he is. And he has a brother. There's two of them. There's two Hernan Gomez's in the league. So, all right, guys, let's just wrapping it up. Thanks for joining me today for this Thursday think tank. I hope you guys enjoyed it. He's been on Denver, Minnesota, Boston, and now Utah. Okay, that sounds right. Tom Duke's got it right. Started on Denver, was in Minnesota for a bit, did have a stop in Boston, and now he's on Utah. All right, David, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hit that red subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow, Friday Freak Out, and 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate all y'all. Let's watch this great finals game tonight. Hopefully, it'll be the last one, and we'll see a Golden State Warriors championship tonight because it makes our team look better that we beat the Golden State Warriors in the finals, and they had Kevin Durant at that time. We didn't have him the whole series, but they did have him. And Boston is not going to be able to get that job done, hopefully. And yeah, that's always good to point to and say, this means this. If X equals Y and Y equals Z, then X is more than, that kind of mathematics. All right, y'all, all the best. Kai Sotto, 2 thumbs up. Let's go. Gotta get my voice back. Oh. Let's go, Raptors. People are strange when you're a stranger.